Hey, Renee, good morning. Thank you. Did you catch last night's Dateline? It does. Patience. Patience pays off. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's not easy, is it? 10 years. That's a good length of time. If it had to have been, I guess I can honestly say it's better then than it is now. Because now it's much worse. Well, if you got internet access, just go to Dateline NBC and click on last night's episode and check it out. It's worthwhile. It was a good show, and Mark and everybody. It was a really really good show. Oh, that's cool. My segment got cut a lot actually, but that's okay. That's fine. It was more important to get the message across. Whereabouts do you volunteer? Michigan. Michigan. I'm very familiar with Michigan. I used to live in Stevens Point, Wisconsin for about 3 years, just across the pond. I miss it out there. Oh, okay. Is it is it slowly coming back? Wisconsin's nice. It's beautiful. It's nice. I like the people. I like the people and the lifestyle. Much better than Southern California. Is Detroit starting to come back a little bit? From reports that I see, it's starting to see a bit of glimmer. I believe the automakers are wanting to come back. Which they should, actually. Okay, I was asking, is Michigan, Detroit starting to come back a little bit? Because from what I understand, the automakers are trying to make a comeback. It'd be nice if they did. I'm sure they can get tax breaks. Oh, okay. So there might be hope yet. Okay. I don't know. They should just come back altogether. They would. I think they would. They would benefit. Okay. All right. I'll see you. Thanks for stopping. Good morning, Michelle. How you doing? Yeah, I didn't realize how much it was. It was pretty intense. It was pretty intense. I see why they cut so much of my segment out. They should do more of. All the networks should do more of those kind of shows. You know what I mean? Because it was. I think it was pretty impactful. I mean, I had no idea of what the show entailed. I kind of had a clue, but I didn't realize how in depth they were, and I didn't realize Craig Melvin went down deep inside Skid Row like that. But I think the other two networks should do shows like that as well. I asked the producer to send me a copy of the DVD of the show, so she's going to do so. Yeah. I kind of wanted to see the a little bit more of Invisible People, but we only got like what, maybe less than 14, 15 minutes. Because I wanted to see that one the one young guy who Mark said reminded a lot like him and stuff like that. And did you see where the people down in the Sepulveda Basin or the Sepulveda Dam, where they were like kind of like forestry area? That's where I did my interview with Craig Melvin. Yeah, see, this is what I talk about a lot. It's the misconception is that they're homeless for a reason because it's drugs and alcohol. The drugs and alcohol doesn't come in afterwards because they need something. Most homeless people need something to cope with, and drugs and alcohol are the closest and easiest accessible thing. But then, as Mark pointed out, that the majority of homeless people are sober, are actually sober. Not everybody's a druggie or a boozer like everybody thinks. And that's the status quo misconception. I just hope that this gets Mark a little bit more subscribership and a lot more help on Patreon too. Because if anything, he needs more help on the Patreon as well. Because Patreon is, I believe, is what helps sustain everything going on. It was a pretty powerful show last night. Good morning, Camel Billy. I like that. The squirrel and peanut butter. Do you remember that from 2 years ago? Oh my God. Yeah, my pets. My pet squirrels, yes. They're long since gone. It's a new generation of squirrels. I won't get into it. But no, I'm up and out, my friend. I'm no longer homeless, so yeah, no. My squirrels, that's funny. Squirrel Man Charlie. It's been giving me a bit of a bother, but I gotta make an appointment with my doctor today, and I'm gonna see about trying to get a knee brace. Shit, I gotta get a knee brace. I gotta get a strap for my tendonitis. I'm falling apart. I'm getting old quick now. I think I'm in worse shape now that I'm indoors than when I was outdoors. How does that figure? I don't know. My squirrels. That's funny. Holy cow. Well, if anything I'm going to be remembered for, I'd rather be remembered for my squirrels, my pet squirrels. So thank you. Yeah, I don't think you know, Michelle, but I had, we had, but mainly me, had some squirrels around our area, and we'd feed them peanut butter, and they would. One of the two squirrels in particular was extremely friendly, and he would climb up on me and on us and feed from us and stuff like that. But he ended up having an accident not too long thereafter. He was silly duck was trying to cross the street and got squished by a car maybe 18 inches away from the curb. And that was bad. We were all bummed. We were actually all, yeah, we were actually mourning because, we don't have much out there. So nature is our pets. We have sparrows that actually come and they're pretty brazen. They actually come and land on us and they look for food and stuff like that. So when we're eating sandwiches out there, they're looking for bread and stuff. It's kind of funny. I think honestly, it's most homeless people are like that when it comes to nature, whether it be squirrels, sparrows, or pigeons. It's just I don't know, something to relate to, I guess. Some sort of connection that you develop. Better than having nothing at all. Billy, were you able to catch Dateline last night?
Just the right amount.
Yes, this morning. Counting down the time. 10 o'clock. Oh, excuse me. Oh, squirrels. But squirrels are everywhere. They magically manifest themselves to appear. temperature really dropped. We're supposed to be in the 90s there for a while. Now we're in the high 80s with rain next week. That's cool. See, now I can deal with the rain. It's no big deal. You said we had turkeys in Wisconsin. Some wild turkeys. And I don't mean the kind in the glass bottle either. They hang around the airport a lot. Like to get by George. Something to see a turkey flying into a prop airplane. That's something to see. Definitely not the smartest birds ever. Wisconsin River. Well, they're not. I mean, if you have turkey around your area, you know how they're not very smart. So, really? Are you serious? That is so cool. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. That means a lot. That's good. I wish some of my friends could follow that inspiration. Yeah, I don't know what's up with them, so getting too comfortable, I guess. For me, it was not an option. I was either going to die trying or kill myself, so I couldn't handle that. It was getting too much. Yeah, it's considering I got the flu and pneumonia twice, and that last time when I lost my job at Sugarfish, and the doctor says, well, we can't get an accurate count on your white cell count, so we're going to have to do it again. I was freaking out. I was really freaking out. Oh, yeah. Wow. You remember that? Wow. Yeah, every time I woke up in the morning, it was every day waking up was like hitting the reset button. It's just another chance of starting all over again, doing your best, giving your chance by God to do what you need to do to change your situation. I kept trying. Many, many roadblocks, but You know, it always seems so hopeless, and like the world is always against you. But you got to keep going. You got to keep doing. And even though you have people around you that says, "Oh, you know what? Just screw it. Why even bother?" Those people aren't your friends. They're like I said, it's the bucket of crabs syndrome. If you ever see a bucket of crabs, you always see one crab trying to get out, and then the other crabs try to pull that crab back in because they don't want to see that crab succeed and get out and have freedom. So those naysayers around you is the bucket of crabs syndrome. Good morning, Denise.
Yep. Thank you.
Because they don't want to try to get out of these situations. They've already given up on life, and they don't want to be alone. So they
All
want,
right. Thank you.
it's the whole misery loves company type of thing. They've given up, so they don't want to see other people succeed where they failed. Exactly. And I've seen that all too much. I see that in Memorial Park. I see that in Central Park. And now even worse up here, up on North Fair Oaks. What do you call that? Victory Park. It was a good show. Yeah, no, it was a good show, Denise. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I just hope that it gets people more. I hope it gets more subs for Mark and more people on Patreon for him. Yeah, they cut out quite a bit. They cut out the interview where the camera crew from New York came out around the library, and then they cut out because the producer called me and she told me they also cut out Craig Melvin's interview right there because I was at the Sepulveda Basin where they did the filming where the lady had her little makeshift home in the forest. That's where I did my interview with Craig Melvin. So they cut that piece out for Gupta's piece, uh, the LA Film Harmonic. Yeah, a 2 hour show would have been better, yeah. But what we need now is ABC and CBS to do a show, something like that. If they could do a show like that, I think it would be a little bit more helpful. Really? I haven't checked. I'm sure they could have. I'm sure they would have. It's great that he has a sub, but if he has the Patreon, that's even better because that's what sustains him. Yeah, that whole Skid Row. I mean, I remember of Skid Row. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, you really don't. You can't even walk through there without an armed escort. It's just so bad. The NIMBYs were really, that's what was making me angry last night with the NIMBYs. And then those three ladies, you know, I can understand their point of view, but they're also they're being like icicles. Never mind the fact that any one of their members, or God forbid that their children end up being like that for some reason. And the fact that more and more kids in high school are becoming homeless. Come on. That could be your child right there, and you're turning a cold shoulder. There are more 15, 16, and 17-year-old homeless kids in America now than ever before. I mean, there never used to be 15, 16, 17-year-old homeless kids. Not even college kids, and there's more college kids now that are homeless. And those three ladies sitting in those chairs were just like, all they cared about was their property value. Yeah, I know. Oh, last night on some of the comments that people were making that were already on the East Coast and watching the show. I'm not gonna say who, but someone said, looking at the lady at the screen, the one on the left, the one that was doing all the talking, she said, "I want to throat kick her." And yeah, no, it's pretty bad. I mean, I know at least 5 young people that go to PCC over here that are homeless. All right, and they're doing their studies and they're homeless. 2 of them have cars, and the other 3 are basically couch surfing, and they're homeless, and they don't tell their parents. So no, it's, and their family doesn't know. They don't want to let their family know, but they're still going to school and everything, and they mean to finish. For them, it's either do or die. I know. Yeah, I was trying to refrain myself from just walking through the whole house and just cursing up a storm. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Oh, no, they wouldn't. Why would they? Until something happens to them, and then they're going to be like, boo-hoo, poor me. I think the ones that were really making me mad were the NIMBYs from Koreatown. They were the worst. The NIMBYs from Koreatown, they were the worst. And I remember that 4 months ago when they were doing that. Because the city was going to put up an emergency shelter. And then all of a sudden they all came out. Oh, this is state here in LA County, and we don't want that in our backyard. Prime real estate. That's all you care about. Never mind the facts that you started off as immigrants yourself, and now you are at a status, and you're forgetting how you started when you came out to this country and to this county, and now you are elevated. You're honestly going to walk around and say that? It's amazing how quickly people forget how and where they started from.
Angela, when they were your team.
You know, and the thing is, and I could attest it. You go to the welfare office. Any U.S. citizen that comes here, they have a hard time getting what they can get. But an immigrant is already set up. They already get at least $10,000 to $12,000 in services right off the bat if they're an immigrant. When Holly and I, when we moved here from Las Vegas to California 10 years ago, since I was already a California native, I got my benefits right off the bat. But since she was a transplant from Indiana to Las Vegas to California, they told her that she had to sell our truck because the truck was under her name, and that she had to be completely homeless. Literally, this is what the worker said: sleeping on a bench with no personal assets before she can apply to get even $160 in food stamps. And I says, well, ma'am, that truck that we have that she has in her name is our home. That's what we sleep in. Well, Mr. Salinas, you can get benefits, but she can't unless she is totally without any property. I got pissed off. I started yelling. They almost had to call security. But if you're an immigrant, you're already getting almost $12,000 in help and schooling to boot. So those people in Koreatown, they completely forgot how they started. And LA County is one of the best counties to get assistance, especially if you're an immigrant. You're set up. You're automatically set up. When I was in Little Tokyo yesterday, I was talking to a couple of people that had migrated from Japan. And there's, America, best place. Los Angeles, beautiful, beautiful. We love it here. They help so much. And I'm like, yeah, of course. You know, they good country. They help you. They like, wow. And I was getting all this feedback, and I'm preparing for like tonight's episode, of Dateline, and it was just like, and then I see the people in Koreatown, and that was just so messed up. And it's not just, the thing is that it's not just Caucasians, blacks, or Mexicans that were homeless in Korea. It's also Koreans that were homeless. And they're turning their back on their own folks, I guess. I don't know. It's just... Fear of what, though? That's what I don't understand. What are you afraid of? If you're afraid of falling back down, don't keep other people downtrodden for your own sake. That's not the humanitarian way. That's not a compassionate way of living.
Thank you.
I don't understand what there is to be afraid of. The funny thing is, when I was out here on the streets, my friends and I, we would say, the one race that you really, really don't see homeless too much of is Asian Americans. And that's because they have the money and they do help their own kind. Not so much anymore. Not so much. Oh, and the trap, that's where they took me down to, that's Sepulveda Dam. That's where I did my interview with Craig Melvin. He's a really good journalist. I like him. I admire him quite a bit. He's a good journalist. He's very level-headed. He's very smart. But I had no idea how bad. I had no idea how many. I remember when the car was driving me down to the location, and we're coming down Sepulveda, and on either side is the park, and all you see are the trees lined up. And if you take a look, you can see cardboard, plywood. You can see housing. You can see blue tarping everywhere. And if you're driving, you're not paying attention, you're just focusing on traffic, you're not going to see it. You're going to miss it. But I was looking for that, and I saw quite a bit. Because I walked back into the forest area, and there are a lot of dwellings in there. A lot of trash. Because she got her housing shortly after that taping is when she got her housing. But she had a good setup though. She had a lot better setup than I did, or than my friends and I did. I mean, that doesn't really say anything good, but living in that part of California was a little bit better. Yeah, she does quite a few live streams. We'll see what happens today now. That was last night. Hopefully his subs will increase more and more. I was hoping that it would have been a little bit. Yeah, she does.
Marco, make a caramel cappuccino.
She most certainly has